This is Plastic Adventures.
Hey everybody, this is Steve, and wait a minute, no wait.
There's no line down the middle of the screen.
That's Doug. What's happening here? Yeah, we're not split screen. We're not zooming from great distances. We're actually in the same place. It's spring break, and I'm in the Tri-Cities, and got a chance to hang out with my best toy friend in the world, other than my other best toy friends in the world. And we decided to get together and do this thing. So today we're gonna be doing our week. No, not week. Monthly. No, not month. The sometime-ish news segment, the Toy Mill, because there's been a lot going on, and Doug actually had the chance to go to WonderCon this year and got to see some extremely cool stuff, and there's been some really, really interesting slips and leaks getting into the news, so...
There have been.
Yeah, why don't we just, bust into this thing?
Well, yeah, let's start off with WonderCon.
Yes, how was WonderCon?
Yeah, let's do that. So WonderCon was amazing. So WonderCon is the convention that's in Anaheim every year, usually around the end of March, and it is a mecca of cosplayers, vendors, and sponsored people coming to, talk about their movies, talk about their comics, talk about everything that they're releasing. It's kind of like a mini Comic-Con, and I say mini in a half-hearted way because it's still very big, right? Like it takes over that whole floor of the Anaheim Convention Center for all the vendors, and then the second floor is all of the halls that constantly have panels going in all of them. So it was very busy, lots of people there. Even though it was gray and a little bit kind of rainy, doesn't matter, I'll still take it.
Ain't no rainy days when you're in a con full of cool stuff.
That's very, very true. So so saw some interesting things, bought some interesting things, got to hang out with my sister and my friend there, and got to buy some comics and toys and just generally geek out all weekend. It was really good. But I did attend some panels, and there was some pretty cool information that was handed out in one of them. I was really interested in the Mondo toy panel that they had. And it was three of the fellas from Mondo were there talking about their current sculpts, and they actually showed us some figure releases that are going to be coming in the future. So
big surprise. I was at home getting the news secondhand after Doug already got to see it. But why don't you tell us about some of the changes that are happening over at Mondo? Yeah,
so Mondo is doing some really incredible stuff. So everybody knows they're a little bit of a higher end toy. Their sculpts are way better. Their figures are a little more articulated and way more detailed. And they usually run around $250.
Yeah, it's in 1/6 scale typically. So 12-inch action figures like old school G.I. Joe, but loaded with accessories, 100%.
Oh my gosh, so much.
Just like hyper premium figures. I mean, you think Sideshow, only with less expense.
Yeah. Well, what's good about them is you said that they're in the 6 scale, and they come loaded with so many accessories and alternate heads and alternate hands, which, a lot of the toy companies do that these days, but I don't think they just do it on the scale that Mondo does.
No. And
not that I saw firsthand.
Yeah, and when we're talking you're getting not just a piece of flesh colored plastic for a hand or a sculpt. They're paint washed, and they're highly detailed. So 12-inch is where they'd been doing their bread and butter, and they had several licenses that they've been working on, but there was a really cool surprise, and I got to see the gray prototype, just one picture, but I think you saw it in person.
I did see it in person, but there was more than just that one. So I'll start off with one of the ones I really liked, which was the Mum-Ra from Thundercats. That thing was phenomenally cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's giant and just, oh my gosh. And he comes loaded out with everything. He's got swords. He's got flaming swords. He's got magic effects. He's got Mum-Mut. You know
Mum-Mut?
Mum-Mut, the whatever that is. He's and the panel, they kept referring to every character that they released. They would have a little pet with them. And they called them, their pack-in buddies or something like their little buddies. Mm-hmm. So he comes with that and everything. And then they also revealed things like there's going to be a Carnage for their Marvel lens. There's going to be a Swift Wind. This is like their first big creature that they're doing on the scale, and it fits right in with the She-Ra that is for them. And then they also had a slew of other figures, but the one that was like super exciting, and the one that I think is probably going to be the figure that people call like this is the epitome of what this character is, because he just looks so cool, was the He-Man
Right.
Mondo.
Yep.
That thing looked, and it wasn't even painted, and it was still like, it brought a tear to your eye how beautiful that thing was.
Yeah, it's based on the 2000X He-Man. So, when those figures came out, they kind of earned this moniker like hyper anime style. But it almost is like in a classic Masters sense that he's built like an original Masters figure.
He's massive.
6-inch scale. So Mondo, it looks like they're trying to get down into this game of 6-inch figures, and obviously there'll be some reduced pricing. The figure looked to be like he was completely tooled out, like made of plastic. So one of Mondo's deals is they do a lot of fabric and stuff in their premium 12-inch scale. So probably recognizing some of the market trends, they just came out with probably the best 2000X He-Man that's ever been done.
I would have to agree with that, and they did say that on the panel, that when they were doing the 6-inch reveals, that they wanted to do a lower price point toy lines and figures, so that way it wasn't just a continually only certain people can get them or anything like that. So that was really, really a very good panel. In fact, I even got to stand up and I asked a question. I asked him specifically about the Carnage, because he comes loaded out with so many different accessories, and one of them is like this huge tentacle mess of just whatever. And I got up and I asked, I was like, well, the tentacle accessories look really cool, but are they going to be wired? Because some of the other reveals showed that they had wired accessories as well, and they said no, that they didn't have plans to make that wired, which was too bad, because he uses a lot of those tentacles in fighting and grabbing a hold of things, and you wanted to be able to set up a diorama of Carnage versus Spider-Man and being able to do that.
Yeah, so that does bring kind of a sad point up for all of you 1 or 2 hentai fans out there. You're just going to have to get it someplace else and not have your wired tentacles this time.
Well, that wasn't even thinking about that. But I did get...
I do it for both of us.
Well, I'm sure someone out there thought of that.
This is so you don't have to go to hell, okay?
I'm going to hell by association. I did get a gift for that question, and they also do albums. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but they do record albums. So they make a soundtracks, and they put whole things together in their albums. They open up and they're like pop-up books. And so I got one for Coraline, which is a really, really cool movie, and it was one of my sister's favorite movie. And so when I won that, I gave that to my sister, because she absolutely loved it. But the guy after me asked a question, and he got the frickin' Mondo Orko.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the... come on.
Dude, that reminds me, back in the day, I worked for a big orange box retailer of tools. And at the company party, there was a drawing. It was a Christmas party. And I was one draw away from the DVD player, so let that sink in for our ones and ones of viewers out there. At this time, I would have been excited for a DVD player. Kind of dates us a little bit, but I did get a real swell red and white lunch pail with the company logo emblazoned on it. And the person that won the DVD player got like the TV that was raffled too that day. I was like, what? I
did win a TV long time ago when I was in the Navy, but it's
Tube
still
TV. Yeah.
But the guy after me asked this question, and I can't remember what his question was, but they're like, so would you like an Orko? And I was like, God damn it. What a way. Oh well, it is what it is. It didn't lessen anything. Actually, I had a really great time at that one. So
yeah, good time. It sounds like it was well worth it.
It was.
Did you need like the whole 2 or 3 days to comb through everything and to come up, or did you just like bust through that thing like what we do when we go to the inland Northwest, like some sort of Navy SEAL of plastic crap collecting?
So what we did was, like, so the first day, I got there on Thursday, the day before the floor would open up, and then Friday morning, we went and got breakfast and things like that, and then we showed it for the opening, and it was like they have the alleyways, right? They're numbered 100 to like 2200. Lots of alleys. And so what we wanted to do was, well, hey, let's just start at one and go on our way down. And we did that for like maybe the first 3 aisles. And then it turned into, ooh, what's that? Hey, look at that. Hey, what's over there? We got this. And we got... And then, I had my friend Gene, he was like trying to keep me like situated where we were at. And I was like, did I hit that one before? Yeah. Well, I want to go look at it again. Yeah. But there was a mixture of like brand new toys, people who were doing crafts, people who were doing art, selling their own paintings and things that they'd made. And there were vintage toy vendors. There were new toy vendors. There was just everything, and so I'm really looking forward to going to Comic-Con in July because it's going to be 3 times the size of that. So I'm like, if WonderCon is any indication how cool that's going to be, it's going to be an awesome time.
Well, you got a lot on the docket.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll stand up to the Inland Northwest and its one gigantic showroom of stuff.
But it does, because I love that thing so much. I always find something good there. I don't think there's been a time where we haven't gone to that thing and I have not walked away with a gem.
Yeah, so shameless plug for the Inland Northwest in Spokane. When is that, like the 12th or something?
Yeah,
May
it's like
12th?
May something like that, May 5th, 16th or something like that.
Yeah. Look them up on Facebook. It's a great show. As always, Time Bomb Toys really does a lot of the heavy lifting to get it going, but it's a great group of Northwest collectors, and I will say that having been over on the west side of the state with bigger conventions and more stuff, Inland Northwest kills it, man. They got a better variety of things and great deals with the people there, and it's super fun. And we see the same people in line when we line up early every time.
We do. And we usually have really good conversations with the people that we're waiting with. But yeah, I swear, under one roof, I don't think I've still to this day seen as many vintage vendors as I see at the Spokane Inland Northwest Toy Show.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a full year of fun things to do. And it hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah. Anything else at WonderCon that like caught your eye?
Well, besides the cosplayers, which like every year seem to like step it up. It's crazy. Like they're beyond Hollywood level, I think. Some of these are so good. Like the Iron Mans are completely articulated with lights, and they come up, they have all the panels that are opening up, and you're like, they couldn't. Why didn't they do that in Hollywood? No, they got these guys that are just doing it in their basement.
No, they'll pay 12 times as much to have CGI done to make it look like that looks like fake.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like you made a new friend in Hordak. He was whispering some
I did
sweet nothings into your ear in one of those pictures.
Yeah, so I was actually just walking down the aisle. It was one of the few times I had when I was there at WonderCon that nobody was with me. Like Pam was doing her own thing, Gene was doing his own thing, and I'm like, I'll just go walk the aisles again. And I'm just walking down, and I look up from my phone trying to figure out where it was at, and I look up, and there's Hordak right there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, because like I said, it was beyond Hollywood level. The thing, he looked real, and he's got a website. I'll maybe put it in the comments later, but geez, man, I was like, I have to get a selfie with you. I have to get a selfie with you. Nobody's going to believe me.
He didn't ask if you wanted some candy, did he?
I would have taken it.
Yeah, me too. Totally. 100%.
I would have taken it.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think the Mondo panel, Hasbro was going to be there. Unfortunately, they had to cancel their panel, which was pretty sad because I love going and listening to the Hasbro panel. They always have good reveals. But which they did reveal some pretty cool stuff for some G.I. Joes and stuff we'll talk about later.
Oh, yeah. Yep, there's been some good news coming out on that front. Kind of, I guess, somewhat 6 degrees from Mondo He-Man in talking about these premium figures that go down in scale. We did recently start getting some online pictures of something referred to as MPG Optimus Prime, a masterpiece figure, and it was a little mysterious, and we got to see some CGI renders of it, and it turns out MPG is the new spin-off for Masterpiece, and they're a slightly smaller scale. I want to say they're something like 8 to 9 inches, but We're getting another Masterpiece Optimus Prime again.
Well, are they going to still do Masterpiece, or
No, I think
is
that
this what they're focusing on?
I want to say that Masterpiece pretty much ended with God Jinrai Power Master Optimus Prime,
Okay.
and MPG was the next kind of like spin-off. But I guess what they're trying to do is, instead of making these cartoon accurate figures and going that direction, it's just going to be up like new interpretations of different characters. So this Optimus Prime, he really honestly, he looks like the second Masterpiece Optimus Prime with the ape arms and the kind of like skinnier proportions.
Okay.
And he comes with some odd accessories. He comes with like the blades, the Michael Bay Optimus Punisher had, those blades that come out. And he's got a big Energon axe that almost looks like a pole axe, and the gun, but
Is it like the typical gun? Is it his typical rifle?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then there's the head sculpt. They've gone like hyper anime for the head sculpt, so the antennae are like really long, and it's got kind of these more angular looking features.
Okay.
So I saw this, and like I said, I love Optimus Prime. It's been such a great year for those figures. Last couple of years, we've gotten so many good releases. Are they really coming out of the gates following Power Master Optimus Prime or God Jinrai with Optimus Prime? Is that how they're like knocking our socks off?
I don't know. Do we need another Optimus Prime? I don't know. I can't.
I mean, like that's a dumb question for me, because yes, most of the time, but when you're really thinking about it, like if they are going this direction, it almost feels like they should have done some kind of like Kick-Ass Soundwave or something that. Character that they've maybe touched once. They've done 2 Megatrons. They've done 2 Starscreams. They've done 3, 4, 5 Optimus Primes now in the series. So.
Yeah, give us like Shockwave or
something super
or maybe
rad.
even like start focusing on something like maybe some of the G2 versions of these guys. You know what I mean? Like G2 Megatron, or like not quite giving us like the Optimus, like give us another version of him.
What if they would have done like the ones that had the launching foam bullcrap missiles, the Hero Optimus Prime, like something neat like that.
Yeah, or make the missiles a little more realistic this time and a little more posable.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of Optimus Primes to choose from out there, and I'm sure there were some duds, but this is an opportunity to take those duds and kind of remold them and reshape them and just turn them into something that more collectors would be like, hey, you know what? That's actually a good idea.
Give us something a little bit different from the norm. And I'm like a total Optimus Prime guy, and I'm asking for this. But like you almost can't ask for more with the recent releases. Like the Masterpiece Optimus Prime, the third version that came out that was the anime version is like terrific, like Apex Optimus Prime figure.
Yep.
And we've been getting some great releases on the retail shelves, not just this specialty stuff. And we're getting Star Convoy or Star Optimus Prime as part of this.
Didn't they release a version of him earlier, like in Generations?
Yeah,
or something like
they
that?
did a crappy version of the Power Master Prime that was the one where like Optimus grows up, he's Orion Pax, and then you combine him with the body, and it makes a gigantic Optimus Prime, and they're really wonky, and none of the alt modes look good. But they did doctor one up like Star Convoy for that. But then we're getting a dedicated like Titan class Star Convoy, and amongst others. So it was kind of an odd choice to pull that one in. I was a little dumbfounded, but. Hey, for only $200, you can get another Optimus Prime.
Just 200.
We don't know what the tariffs are doing yet. As we're speaking, we're still in the middle of all that mess, and we're mad at China, and so it might be $300 for a $200 Optimus Prime. Yeah.
China tax and tariffs. Yeah. Anyway, I think that they could probably do more. So I don't know. So these are smaller versions of the masterpieces, right?
Yeah. So they're coming down like Masterpiece. I want to say Masterpiece Prime. The $500 Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I think he was like 10 inches tall or something, and I want to say this new one's around like the 8 to 9 inch size. So they are shrinking him down just a little bit.
I just want to see characters that we don't normally see. I think that's the thing that I want to start
or
looking
if
at.
you're going to pick this time to do some crazy update, let's see something that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Or something. A totally different take, but it just looks too much like what we've already gotten.
Well, yeah, because like take the G2 Optimus Prime for instance, the one with the white cab and the flames, where with he's like the big chunky feet when you do whatever, and he has the missile that like comes off the side.
Yeah.
Like now, this would be like, okay, that was a little cheesy for back then, but now we have the opportunity to redesign that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. We should.
You know how many people would be like, if you brought that out as first, and they're like, this is what we're doing. These are re-imaged characters of ones that you had as a kid, but are slightly more adult now. They're a little more grown up for you. So I don't know. I think that would have been a great idea.
Yeah, I'm totally down for it. But it ain't all bad news for Transformers. There's stuff we'll get at in just a little bit. Just recently, there was some really interesting prototype images that were leaked. First, it was a torso and a head sculpt. And then it was like torso, accessories, another torso from another one. And it was apparently Sergeant Slaughter's not done with classified because we're getting a Warthog Sergeant Slaughter.
Ooh.
That's the one I'm waiting for, dude. I love the original with the camouflage pants and the black boots and the tank top. I don't care about his wrestling get-up as much, but this is supposed to be a 2-pack with Warthog, Sergeant Slaughter, and Mercer.
Oh!
Yeah. Snap!
Okay, that's got my attention. I like Mercer. I like the idea of the ex-Viper, right?
Yeah, I love it, and it'll be even better if they include a little scorpion that Mercer can spit on and show how tough he is, but just like G.I. Joe the movie. But the Sarge sculpt is looking really good. It looks like they've got one version that has a beret. And
Sarge with a beret, okay.
Yeah, maybe you can take
like when he did in his wrestling days, he would wear a beret sometimes. Yeah,
so the thought was like, are they doing an homage to Traitor Sergeant Slaughter when he came in and he was an Iraqi sympathizer and had to get beat down by Hulk Hogan?
Are they going to give us an Iron Sheik then as well?
Oh, that'd be too funny. Too funny. But the figure itself, it looked to be that, the original figure had this cool like flak jacket thing and he's in the tan and a few like red highlights. He had those cool tan gloves and the removable hat.
Right.
That
for back then was
lost.
Cool.
That was like crazy. So you can kind of see like on this body sculpt, it's kind of torn up there. So he's gonna be sleeveless and he's gonna be rocked out like
he should be.
G.I. Joe cartoon Slaughter. Right. So that's the one that's got
not real life Slaughter like.
I saw a picture of him putting Chuck Norris in the Cobra
That's true.
Clutch, so
that's
I guess
true.
we've probably ended that discussion.
That was a funny picture.
Unless Chuck Norris is so powerful, he makes Slaughter put the Cobra Clutch on him
on
and
himself?
It hurts Sergeant Slaughter, right? But anyways, it's really, really neat, and they showed parts of Mercer, so...
I'm gonna have to look up the picture of Mercer. I did not hear about that, so I really want to see what he looks like.
Yeah, that was like my favorite piece of classified news that I saw, because I'm a Sergeant Slaughter mark, I've bought all of the classified versions so far, and I don't collect all classified, but I would have a classified Mercer.
Absolutely, I would too. And I would have if they come out with the other ones, the Taurus and Red Dog, that would be cool too. And are they going to give Sergeant Slaughter the itty bitty ditty bag like the other one did, like the Slaughter's Marauders?
I don't know, because really, Slaughter was always pretty sparse on accessories when he was a figure. Like, oh boy, a baton! I'm really excited. Oh boy, a green hat that wears out and doesn't fit anymore on the Warthog driver.
And you were happy to have it.
Well, they might give him like a bigger itty bitty ditty bag. I don't know. But hard to say. But hey, great news for classified Sergeant Slaughter fans. I mean, we've been really, really blessed to get these figures after his, WWE affiliations and other companies having the rights and Hasbro not being able to like get in and produce, and they're churning them. And I had worried that they were going to lose their ability to do that with Sergeant Slaughter, like he'd sign up another Legends deal and get stuck with. I want to say it's Mattel that handles those wrestling figures right now. But, when they do that, they rob us of Joe Sergeant Slaughter. So I would like to see an O-ring version. I would really like to see a Warthog that turned into a Transformer.
Oh, a Transformer crossover.
But they
with
gave
the
us
big
Cup.
missiles on the back.
They
that
gave
would be
us
cool.
Cup. So, beggars can't be choosers. But,
no.
But
with all the Slaughters coming out, it makes me wonder, hopefully, that maybe we can see a fridge a classified Fridge figure? Because
I wouldn't put it past him. Dude.
I would love to have that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would love the shout out and some of the revenue that would come from his likeness being shared.
I'm
Well,
sure.
I mean, his family would.
These days,
I think he's dead, but I'm sure his family would like it.
yeah, I don't know Refrigerator Perry's status, so I'll hold off on any jokes about looking more and more like a fridge these days.
He was always a big guy.
But I
That's
loved
why they
him.
called him the Fridge.
Who didn't love the '85 Bears? Come on, man.
Oh, I know. But with that, I mean, if we're getting Mercer and all these other guys, I mean, maybe we're finally going to get some good figures that we just haven't seen in a while. Like, I would love a Fridge. That would be so cool with his football chain
That
accessory.
weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was cool.
Hey, the boys can dream.
We can dream.
Yeah. Yep. Let me see here, because I got a whole list, and I'm kind of jumping around, but I was really excited to talk about the Sergeant Slaughter.
Well, I've got ones for Masters.
Yeah, let's talk about the Masterverse.
Yeah, because these were some
reveals
pretty
there,
cool
yeah.
reveals that they had. So, just like Classified, Mattel has been killing it with the Masterverse and the Masters Origin line. They've got the Snake Men. They have not stopped. There was rumors a while ago that maybe they might be done, but no, Mattel does not look like it's stopping anytime soon. They are giving us some really, really good stuff. And they just released some previews of their new Eternia figures that are coming up. And so we're getting Ninjor.
Uh-huh.
We're getting Terror Claws Skeletor.
Yeah, in the reimagined style.
Yeah.
Ninjor kind of has a little bit of a classic look about him.
He does. He kind of has like a mixture of a samurai kind of look to him, which is kind of cool. And the Terror Claw Skeletor, like you can see there,
Yeah, he looks like RoboCop Skeletor.
RoboCop
but
Skeletor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool nonetheless.
We're getting Cobra Khan, Attila, Stratos. But the one that I'm like super excited for in this reveal is
100% Blade.
87 Blade. Yeah.
Yep.
That guy in the movie was, I don't know if he was a joke or not, but he looked really cool. And
Like, hands down, the best design from Masters of the Universe 87 movie.
Absolutely.
I thought Blade's costuming, and we kind of got robbed of like a really cool final battle with him and He-Man.
Yeah.
Just such a cool looking figure, and he's... I mean, they did Beastman and Evelyn and Skeletor.
Which were pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean, did they do Sarad? I'm not sure because I don't
think
collect
so.
the line.
No,
but, I mean, they got to get him, and I think they got Karg in there.
But throwing Blade at is just he's an out of the package figure right away.
Yeah, we haven't seen Blade since Masters of the Universe Classics, and good luck buying that for less than like $100 these days. So,
Yeah.
and not to
Probably
mention
more.
I'm gonna blaspheme, but Masterverse is better than Classics.
It's
a better line.
I mean, I know that there's proponents on both sides. Oh, Classics this, Classic. But I think Masterverse is so much better because, one, it's more available to people. More people can enjoy it.
Yeah, you don't have a wall of a subscription service in front of
Right.
you.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest one. And they're big, they're posable, and they're fun to play with. So I mean, I know that some of the classics. Who were they designed by the way? I remember watching a video not too long ago about one of the sculptors for that.
Well, I think the Four Horsemen.
Was it the Four Horsemen
did
that were doing the classics?
Yeah, they did the classics. They created the Buck, and I think they followed the line all the way through. But that line ended up being plagued with quality control issues, and there were like these ankle joint rockers. I have He-Man and Skeletor, and I swear to God, I take my toys out and I put them on the shelf like you should. Don't play with a toy. But like my classics, just they don't stand on their own. You gotta like prop them up against the other ones, and then you put it with maybe the exception of the Dolph He-Man, because Derp Lundgren that we got out of the Masterverse series really sucked. They couldn't get his likeness, but
the rest of that figure.
Yeah,
is
you
great.
can get some third-party head sculpts to fix it. The body is still like probably a better sculpt than classics, but it was the head sculpt that set it off. The He-Man from that series had one of the worst face sculpts and head sculpts. He's like he literally looked like Gray Hulk, colored flesh.
Oh boy!
With like some half-assed quasi Page Boy haircut, and the hair they glued it too high. So it's sitting up here. He looked like the guy that owns the frickin' Las Vegas Raiders,
Oh boy.
whose mom cuts his hair. So you had to like peel the hair off the toy, reset it, and glue it to where it actually sat in the right place. So, I love what Classics did for the collectors, but man, Masterverse is just it's a better line. Even
I love Masterverse.
even the new crappy He-Man head sculpts that have come out from Thunder Punch and Flying Fist He-Man, the toys themselves are still better. So.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Yeah, so, Masterverse, again, killing it with the new Eternia stuff. Let's see, do I have anything else that I wanted to bring up? I think I had one other thing I noticed, and I was like, oh, we got to talk about that. Oh, no, it was from your post. Is he on there? Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, so, McFarlane's probably going out with a bang this year.
Because they're losing the DC contract.
Mattel picked the license back up, and I sigh because we've seen what Mattel does. And some figures were very good, and some figures were like garbage. When you put a McFarlane sculpted DC figure against a Mattel sculpted DC figure, dude, McFarlane kills them.
Oh, I know.
Like in every conceivable way. But I don't know what deal was made, so McFarlane's losing the license. And finally, after 5 years, we got Chris Reeve Superman, which was great.
I love that.
And we
figure.
got Keaton Batman, which was really, really nice to have those. Thank goodness, finally. But they are finally getting around to releasing like the
classic,
Golden Age classic Superman figure with the big, triangular shield. I mean, it looks like
the big shoulders. And
yeah, he looks like the Chris Reeve Superman suit with a classic Superman head sculpt, and it is tremendous.
Yeah.
And they went up for pre-order, and you cannot have them.
Nope. Gone.
They're completely like sold through everywhere. But good news is it's going to be like a GameStop and a Walmart thing. So
we'll see him.
Just like Keaton Batman when he started hitting the shelves at Targets, everybody clamored for him to go get him, and now like you can't walk into a GameStop and throw a stick and not hit one.
Right.
So it's good news. Everyone's going to get one. I managed to squeeze in a pre-order for one.
Oh, lucky you!
And I paid too much for it out of paranoia.
Fear of missing out. FOMO.
100%, because like we've seen what can happen with some of these toys.
Oh, absolutely.
But, wonderful. I mean, it's a terrific figure. They've got a whole bunch of other great stuff that's coming. I suppose that I can probably sort of like dovetail with that Superman. This summer, we're gonna get Batman Returns figures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, holy hell! Thank goodness.
Yep.
Gosh, we're getting Max Schreck, and we're getting the Penguin, and we're getting a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. And we're getting my very favorite movie Batsuit, which is Batman Returns, which actually looks like it does something. It's not just like skipped abs day, so you put the rubber muscles on yourself suit. And I can't tell from the pictures because we've only seen like a picture of a presentation.
Exactly,
right?
of a faraway picture.
But it almost looks like maybe this is a single piece.
Oh, head sculpt where it's not going to move?
Yeah, where he's got no neck movement.
I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that because then it'll be more screen accurate.
Yeah, I'm not going to pose them on my shelf with Batman from one of those movies looking like this. He needs to like do the Bigfoot,
the shoulder
in
move.
the woods where you got to turn like your whole. I look like Frankenstein doing that.
The Thriller.
Oh yeah, Thriller.
But McFarlane, if you're listening, and I know you are, what I really want out of the McFarlane toy line is give me a Clark Kent. Christopher Reeve Clark Kent. I want a Clark Kent action figure. I've always wanted one, and I've seen a couple that they've released, and they've looked either too bulky or they looked a little odd. Give me one that is a Christopher Reeve Clark Kent action figure to go alongside the Christopher Reeve Superman.
That's a missed opportunity.
I would
make
love
it a
that.
deluxe with a phone booth or something.
Or something. I want. I mean, you can't. Superman is only 50% of the character. Like, I swear, Clark Kent is just as important as Superman in very many cases, and so it's kind of, like I feel like that's kind of a missed character that they keep overlooking. I mean, give us a Bruce Wayne too. Give us a Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne, or something like. These characters have alternate identities. They should be banking on that.
Yeah, and I mean, since these were movies that were meant to appeal to the most people, that their alter egos were on screen more than Superman and Batman. So it was just so important that Keaton and Reeves' performances were great and aligned with the characters. That would be a terrific idea. I would love to see those figures. Yeah. I'd love to see a Nicholson Joker if they could swing it. I would like be way into that. But
I don't think we're going to get much out of McFarlane after this. So
yeah, we'll have to see. But yes, because we know you listen to this podcast, Todd McFarlane. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work, and
I'll expect my royalty check anytime now.
Like, less people buy McFarlane now after they listen to the
I know.
podcast. Like, somehow sales go down. Yeah. Not those two guys. Oh, my God. Whatever.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, gosh. So I guess we're on the movie characters. We're just talking about Keaton and Reeve. NECA has done tremendous RoboCop figures.
Oh, yes.
They're so good. They've had several versions of RoboCop, and they've had the deluxe version, and they were nice enough to engineer in the best feature, the opening leg, where the Auto 9 goes. Super awesome. And they got around to doing a Peter Weller Murphy figure that you can have as Murphy.
Ooh.
Or it just, it comes with all the hamburger that you can put on him instead and have a dead Murphy. So we know that figure's out there. I've seen it in the store once or twice, and I've come close to getting it. But
why wouldn't you buy that? That's like an instant buy.
Well, I have limited space, and I should have gotten it. Mm-hmm. But if I bought Murphy and the deluxe Murphy that comes with the hamburger, I would have been very tempted to buy a little something that's coming from JFS Toys. So JFS Toys, I don't know who the hell they are, but
but they're giving us a character.
They have a series of 5 figures, which is the bad guys from RoboCop, and it's Clarence Boddicker, and it's all those other jerkwads, and the guy that knocks Lewis out because she just can't help herself when she catches him going to the bathroom. So
do we have the guy that turns into the sludge?
Yeah, Emil is there, but they don't have Sludge Emil.
Oh,
not the that one.
Why don't we? That's the best. That's one of the best characters, especially when she hits him and just turns him into goo.
You know what probably the worst would be if they made a NECA Deluxe figure and it's just like a tub of slime.
That you can throw on
pieces in there, and that's your Deluxe Emil irradiated version. So just have him
pre-order, sold out 2 seconds.
Yeah, if you're listening, NECA, you're welcome. Well, okay, so JFS, I don't know who they are, but man, these are not cheap.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine.
It's $275 for 5 figures.
Oh my gosh!
That's the discounted rate, and I think they go up about $7 or $8 a piece if you try to buy them separate. But they look pretty good. The articulation is a little bit limited on them. They come with a bunch of extra hands, and some of them have the Cobra gun, and some of them have pistols. So it's really neat. And
are they in scale with the NECA?
Yeah, they're 7-inch scale. So
that's good.
So you can get Hamburger Murphy and reenact that whole disgustingly vile and violent sequence. But
if I saw him, I'd have to get him, because you know why? That tells me that Lewis is right around the corner.
I would love an Ann Lewis figure.
That would be so cool to have both of them with RoboCop. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rad. If that happened, God, maybe I gotta do it. But
I can tell you right now, you're gonna kick yourself for not doing it right now.
$60
because it's gonna come out. It's gonna happen.
$60 for 7-inch figures like that, and they're not even core things I collect, but they look terrific. So if there's anybody listening out there that is just super into RoboCop, I mean, it's almost like a need to have.
That one is a need. If I saw it, I would try to talk myself into spending the money.
It almost kind of makes me wonder if maybe NECA is not keeping the license, or they only did certain characters to do
I don't know.
figures out of. So that was kind of interesting. They're called the Villains of Old Detroit. I don't even know if they call them by name, but the likenesses are spot on. So
Oh,
who knows?
I need to look those up. I need
how
to see
they're
if they
getting
look
around
like the movies. You're gonna make me want to watch RoboCop again, damn it.
I always want to watch RoboCop. My wife even loves RoboCop, so that's even better.
That's a win.
So I guess the last one I want to get to before we get to the super cool news.
Mm-hmm.
Nassau Toys. We've heard of these guys, right? Like they do. I want to say they do Sectors, right? The stuff that's.
Oh
in
yeah,
okay.
Nacelle Toys. They do the
And
Sectors. They do the
RoboForce. Yeah.
Yep.
So they've been getting into all these classic licenses, but they're doing Star Trek now.
What?
Yeah. They're
Which
doing like
Star
6-inch scale Star Trek characters from all different movies and generations. So you have
man, if I get a red suit Kirk from Khan, that's over with. I would buy that one.
Yeah, so you've got Exo 6, which is doing the cloth outfits, and they're high end. Those are like $100 figures, 120, 150, and they do have a Kirk and Bones and Spock from Khan. You're gonna probably get the next best Kirk other than Wrath of Khan Kirk, which I would love if they did that too. They are doing a Captain Kirk from Generations.
Oh, okay.
So he's in the
With
thing,
the white
but it's got
and
like
the red
the white
sleeves.
thing that comes down, right? But it doesn't stop there. He comes with a stump. He comes with an axe.
Oh, jeez. Does he come with an
comes
egg
with
and a frying
log.
pan?
He comes with an egg and a frying pan and a horse and a cup of coffee.
Oh, jeez.
And the sculpt is so intensely terrific. Like
Okay.
I don't know how they did this, but they just have pictures of the prototype accessories, and then there's one Kirk that's like, I think it's the 3D renderer. It's a computer colored, and he's got his hands behind his back, and he's looking forward. And that is like Shatner ripped right out of the movie. It is so good. I cringe at what these are going to cost.
Oh.
But, I mean, it is such a good figure, and it comes with all of the things that were great.
Yeah, all the great things.
He doesn't come with a broken bridge and a blood trickle and a meaningless, crappy death. He comes with all the things that were like cool as hell Captain Kirk from that movie.
Speaking of that, Kirk, did you see? We're going to get off the toy topic and onto the Star Trek topic now. Did you see the Roddenberry Archives, the O-Toy version of the little video that they came out with that Captain Kirk walking up to? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
If that didn't hit you in the feels, I don't know what would. You're not a Star Trek fan if that didn't hit you in the feels. That was such a
for
great
those
video.
of you out there, I think you could probably just go to YouTube and do like.
I think it's called O-Toy.
Yeah, like Kirk Roddenberry Archive.
or something. Yeah, you can search. You will find it. It will pop up, and you got to watch it. It's 7 minutes. Like
there's
very
no
few
voice.
words.
Yeah,
very
like
few
hardly
words at the
anything
very
in
end.
it,
but it's worth it.
I saw that and I'm like, oh my god, it's still too soon.
I know.
Still too soon.
But what that does is it shows me what they can do, and that's what I'm excited for.
There has also been some rumors that Shatner would like to have some final involvement with Star Trek as he's kind of aging out, and they can CGI de-age him. And there was that huge thing in Picard where they went to the archive and
saw his name on the whatchamacallit,
Yeah,
and they
and
have
I'm
his
like, oh my
they have
God.
his DNA and possibly a clone of Kirk. Yeah, I know.
But no,
I know.
the Federation could never clone him, but maybe the bad guys could,
Maybe.
and he could be brought around to the thinking of the Federation. I don't know, but
But what that tells me is that maybe there's possibility for him to do what James Earl Jones did. Like, give Star Trek, like, hey, Kirk is a major part of Star Trek. Go ahead and continue to use my likeness and my voice for this character in future stuff. That would be cool.
and I always like to think there are possibilities. So, hey, who knows? Yeah, right.
Way to work that one in there. Good job.
I suck at everything but toys and sci-fi.
Which is why we get along. All right, what's the big news? The major news. Let's end this one.
It was the Transformers leaks. All kinds of great
yes.
stuff for late this year and into next year. Now, take it with a grain of salt and like 1,000 pounds of truth, because these are almost always correct. But
yeah.
the whole bevy of
What impressed
the
me was
names
the size of the list.
yeah, it's all the descriptors that are in the system. So you get a SKU number, and then you'll get a shortened descriptor of what it is going to be. So like TRA Generation 86 XYZ, whoever it's going to
Right.
be. And, like we've all been kind of begging for some characters to get their updates and to get their flowers and their time to shine. And there's been a lot of omissions over the last couple of years for trying to fill out that original Autobot and Decepticon crew.
Yes.
And Studio Series 86 particularly has been a great way to get these figures as close to the original cartoons as possible. And there was just like a bunch of stuff that was shown. And then they've got some other ones that are spicy that are mixed in there, but what
We want to talk about some of the ones we're excited for?
yeah.
Okay, so the one
And
that
I had to write it down on this yellow
Yeah.
piece of paper too.
super high tech.
Because I couldn't put it on my cell phone.
use your
Yeah, I know. God, it's old.
All right. So the big one that I am really, really excited for is Windcharger. Because like Steve said, they're starting to round out they're giving us the rest of these characters, the rest of these cartoon accurate, or as close to the cartoon accurate that they can give us, figures. And so Windcharger is the last of the 18 Autobots from season 1 that I'm sure me and everybody else in the entire world has been trying to finish their collection for. And I can finally get rid of my, Power of the Primes Windcharger, and you're like, get out of here, and replace him with a good Windcharger.
Yeah,
So-
they were doing it in a awesome Transformers cash grab. They do deluxe scale mini bots who are just like obviously cheaper to produce deluxe figures that are shorter. So
Right.
we did get a bunch of them, almost the entire crew, maybe all of them. We've got in the smaller Scout class from previous lines, which actually scale really well. But these new ones are nicer. They're
are.
better figures, and God, we've been waiting for Windcharger for like forever and a day. to show
Forever,
up.
ever. And every time they do a reveal, I'm always going, Windcharger? 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 No, Windcharger. You suck.
Oh, but a repaint.
A
of
repaint,
somebody,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that. But so I'm hoping that that news, particularly for that character, I hope that one sticks because we really need it.
Oh, certainly, yeah. So I'll start reading these down that I've got on my list here, and a few are surprises. When they revealed them, I really like the aerial bots, and they're like in the same vein as the Stunticons that had come before them. And we got to see the Constructicons, the new Devastator, which is super cool.
I still have not been able to pick up any of those.
They're trickling. They're coming out.
I hope so.
Aerial bots and Devastator. I've seen them. The waves are starting to hit the stores. Check Walmarts and Targets, and they're not coming in short supply. I mean, it seems like
so.
we're
I really
getting
hope
plenty
so.
of them out there. So Kranix, 86 Kranix, odd choice, creepy
Right.
looking bot. I don't know if he just turns into like
What do you turn
stomach
into?
bile after he got digested by Unicron, or
I was
what
like,
the
what does he turn into? Is he a Transformer?
I don't know. But hey.
We're getting him.
We're at this point we can afford to have some characters that showed up in the movie for like a cell, an animation cell. So we're gonna get Kranix and what was the other guy's name? Orbalix or something was
Yeah.
his name. I mean, we inevitably they'll take Kranix's head off and put a new head sculpt and turn
Call
him
him somebody
purple
else.
or whatever, and he'll be the other one. So that was kind of a neat one. And not speaking of the movie, we're getting Big Convoy, which was kind of a surprise. So, we've got these Japanese continuities of Beast Wars. Beast Wars 2 had a tremendous Optimus Prime design where he was a lion that turned into has his alt mode, and he looked great, like white and gold and red and blue.
With a giant lion head.
Yeah, so you had Beast Wars 2, and then you had Beast Wars Neo after that, and he turned into a woolly mammoth, and you just had this big, huge Optimus Prime. Looks great. So one of the surprises was a leader class Big Convoy that we're going to get.
Okay, cool.
Super cool. I wish that Lio Convoy wasn't a little deluxe scale. I kind of wish he was
Tiny. A little bit bigger.
a bit bigger. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, and we got one, so that was cool. But of the G1 stuff that we should be really excited to see based on the availability or lack thereof of some of the Earthrise molds that weren't like standard single retail releases, we're getting Skywarp. We're getting Sunstreaker. We are also getting
Thundercracker.
Shockwave and Thundercracker. We're getting Leader Class Soundwave. We're getting Astro Train. Leader class Snarl, so I think that's capping the Dinobots,
Dinobots off,
and then
yep.
they're going to start spinning off into the G2 recolored Dinobots.
Bring those on. Heck yeah.
Hound. I don't know why we're getting Scourge again.
Well, let's take a step back to Hound. So I'm hoping that this Hound is the more accurate version that they tried to give us in that five pack. Or maybe he's going to be a new mold, and we're getting a little bit better or a little bit closer combination of a a real life Hound versus a cartoon. Not that I don't mind the Siege Hound, because I actually really do like the Siege Hound. But I think that in order for him to be in line with the rest of the characters that they've released so far, kind of with the SS86 and all of that other stuff, he needs to be a little bit different.
We need the Earthrise molds, or something that is more G1 looking.
Yeah.
So, we had Prowl that was released in a 2-pack with Air Razor. Like, you couldn't get that Prowl mold unless you bought, like, the Trauma Reliving 2-pack of dying Autobots that Target had, and then
which I did, which is the only one I could get my hands on. So
yeah, so it feels like it's probably a really good opportunity to get those Earthrise molds, or better, like closer to G1 molds. Even though, like, one should not complain about Siege, they were great figures.
They were great figures. I love them.
Yeah, and I was interested in Sunstreaker. Maybe we get him and Sideswipe was released in a 2-pack.
Yeah,
we never got the Earthrise Sideswipe, so. Scourge, I could live without that one. I don't know why we're getting another one, because we had a Studio Series Scourge.
Yeah.
We're getting Hot Rod Studio Series, so
we already have one of those too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, and it's a great figure, by the way.
I don't know why we need another one, though.
I don't.
Re-released the frickin' Rodimus Prime. I did not get my hands on that one.
Yeah, we're getting Power Glide, Smokescreen, Swerve, Sure Shot from the Target Masters. The Combaticons, that was a great...
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, Bruticus is one of the coolest combiners, 100%.
He's going to look good next to the Stunticons.
Yeah, so there's a whole, like, interesting slew of things that are coming, and it's all G1 style. There was one that's got me scratching my head a little bit, and we were talking about how, like, we're getting MPG Optimus Prime, like another Prime. We're just coming off the heels of this... Age of Primes, G1 Optimus Prime, the little guy that's done in G1 style. They just released a really nice Devastation Optimus Prime based off of the video game, that arcade
with the cell
driver
coloring.
shooter thing. Yeah, that's great. We just got Studio Series Commander Class Optimus Prime with the cool trailer, who looks great.
They just can't get rid of Optimus Prime.
We got another Leader Class Optimus Prime coming, and I don't know what the heck, man. Like, what are they going to do?
No love for Megatron.
No. Supposedly there's 86 Megatron. Studio Series 86 Megatron was already... the name drop has already happened, so we haven't seen product for it, but we can almost always assume he's going to be a tank.
He's going to be a tank, yeah. He's not going to be a gun. They can't do it, by the way. They wouldn't be able to do it with the laws that are enacted right now. I think Hasbro would be paying too many fines to get that through.
Or if they did, it would have to be like a really weird, non-real gun looking thing. Some sort of like sci-fi looking gun.
Yeah,
I mean, they could work around it, but it would never look right. Like what Megatron really.
What they would have to do is they would have to make him he would have to have like a false front. Right, so that way when that transforms, he looks like the G1 Megatron, and then he transforms and the false front comes up and does his thing. Which I guess would be okay as long as he's not full of kibble and bits and parts hanging off of him everywhere. Kind of like the Earthrise version did, where they had to hide the tank treads hanging off his back and things like that. So, I mean, it's a good version, and Megatron is great as a tank. But when you say Studio Series 86. We're expecting that gun.
I guess about the only way they could do it is if it was some sci-fi spin. It'd have to be more squared off looking, and nothing that anybody could ever look at and associate the word like realistic gun with. But I doubt we'll ever see it. Shockwave you could, because he's a weird alien.
He's a ray gun. Yeah, he's not. He's a laser gun. He's not going to do anything.
No reason not to. But anyways. Good news, like on the Transformers front, in generally speaking, now that we're getting complete...
I know. Where do we go from here?
What's the next play pattern? And we're all like, hurry, give it more. We want to consume, but then What's the next thing for Transformers?
Well, I think
coming?
that they can move on to G2. I really do. With the alternate colors and some of the crazy accessories they can work in. And like I said, maybe they can take the time to redesign and give us some better versions of the figures that maybe weren't done so well.
Yeah, I mean, this G1 itch has been scratched pretty nicely by Hasbro.
It has been. And thank you. We we really appreciate it because, I mean, what we really want is the toys reissued, though. Hasbro, can you continue to do this, please?
Shouldn't be turned into China for those. That's exactly what should be on the shelves at Walmart right now.
Yeah.
And charge the money for them, whatever, because we're going to buy them. But
we're going to buy them.
Come on, brother. Come on.
That's all we ever wanted.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. But anyways, that's what I got. That's
a good
hassle
laundry
of
list.
news. I mean, we're really deep on this one. So
yeah,
in 6 months when we reconvene, we can talk about 3 other things that won't be new by the time they get to you.
Well, hopefully, maybe the next time we can get together will be the Spokane Inland Northwest Toy Show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'll be the next one that we do. Well, the next in-person one. I still got videos that I have to edit and then I have to put up. So the next video that you see probably will be I don't know, 3 months ago. Who knows? We're old guys. We have jobs.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But hey, thanks for joining us as we go through the latest news that you probably already knew. And give us a like, give us a subscribe, tell us what you like, what you don't like in the comments below. Some of you have dropped some pretty good comments. We really appreciate the interaction that we've been getting down there. So I'd really like to see some more of that.
Yep. Find us over at Facebook, Plastic Adventures Toy Community. If you're local to the 509, check out the Tri-Cities Toy Collectors too. That's a great little group that's getting off the ground, and the whole mission is exactly the same. Find Doug over on Instagram, who's way more active than I am. The Toy Man 80s with an underscore under all of those things. That's right. Hey, if we miss the news, tell us the news. Engage, interact, and I suppose if we don't, then we'll see you in the toy aisles. And Wonder Twin powers activate.
Oh!
For being in the same place together. All right.
It's real. All right. See everybody later.